Hello, Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising, and welcome to June. Jupiter in Taurus trined your ascendant Sun or Moon all of the past year, and with Uranus in the mix, many things could have come up around the topics of love, creativity, money, possibly winnings, the lottery, the arts. You could have had a great year in love or met a new love in a shocking or sudden way with Uranus in the mix. Your children could have had a great year, done something, or started some kind of creative project. You, because this energy did trine your first house of self, identity, and physical body, you could have initiated or began, same thing, a lucrative project in these areas. You could have found out that a baby is on the way. That could have happened, and it might have been a big surprise. But with Jupiter being there, it will be, and I think all babies are welcome surprises, but sometimes it takes a bit of an adjustment if you weren't expecting. Even with the unexpected, as Uranus has been here, the results will be happy and possibly beautiful because Venus is the depositor, or was the depositor of Jupiter, and is still the depositor of Uranus because it's in Taurus. And Jupiter was here protecting this house and all of the shakeups and quakes and changes that were happening over the past year. Now he's going to move into your sixth house of health, everyday work, workaday projects, health practitioners, diet, service, small pets and animals. You literally could have, and I know I said this before, fallen pregnant over the past few months or past year. And right now you're very focused on like proper nutrition, diet, exercise, taking good care of your body. Sports are also part of the fifth house and speculative gains, where Jupiter just transited. So maybe you found a new sport that you love, investments, and maybe you're implementing this new sport or health activity as part of your health regime. You're Capricorn, known to reach or climb high peaks of success. So maybe you fell in love with like rock climbing or rappelling or hiking mountains, just in like the literal form. Just throwing some ideas out there. If you have any health issues or anything that cropped up, Jupiter here in the sixth house will help you find the right practitioner, and maybe even more than one with Jupiter being in Gemini, the sign of the twins. If surgery is needed, Jupiter will be here to help you. Gemini also rules the hands. You could find a fantastic surgeon this upcoming year if it's needed. On June 3rd, the Jupiter-Pluto trine with Mercury in the mix is happening from your sixth house of health over to your second house of money, finances, your bank account, land, real estate, your face, throat, mouth, teeth. You hosted Pluto in your first house for many, many years and undoubtedly have gone through some significant transformations, possibly changing your overall identity, how you look, your home, where you live, your health. Everything could have changed. And now he's retrograding back at the very end degrees of Capricorn, but will fully be in your second house by November. The trine for you could be kicking off a massive transformation in the work that you do, real estate, property. Second house rules that, maybe dental work that will transform the way that you look, like braces or other such things. Your self-worth is in this house, and that, could be massively increasing over the next many years if you had any self-esteem issues. Bank balance, with Pluto going here, this could be massive money to be made in the next, several years. Pluto rules multimillionaires. This is also a house that shows a type of family lineage that we're born into. And this is also where you build your wealth. Trining your sixth house of work, service, health and vitality, pets and hygiene and all of that, where we're dutiful. Mercury rules the sixth house. It rules Gemini, and Virgo is its sixth house is usually, not usually, but it's naturally ruled by Virgo. So Mercury is very happy here, and so is Jupiter. He's talking with Pluto and Jupiter in a positive way about what can unfold over the next year or 12, what can be started now, and what might not take full form until November when Pluto goes direct, especially since Neptune will kind of be spell casting or throwing some of his nebulous fog and confusion over these areas or conversations regarding how you gain insight or the desire to transform your wealth and health, changing in a profound, transformative way. Your family karma can also be here in the 2nd to the 6th of health, what you do to grow and build your bank balance as it relates to your everyday work can be changed in a positive transformational way. Ideas or seeds of thought could be starting now. You could change the way you look, especially in your face, and how you're seen through the 6th house of everyday work. Your changes can improve your self-esteem. Saturn will be in the 3rd house of communication, squaring up to Venus in the 6th around the same time. So you may be feeling a little bit of frustration or blockages or frustrating messages that come in around health or money. That might be there, but the square will loosen as Venus kind of speeds along. And just be careful with the driving as well. The 3rd house is the house of like vehicles and movement in your everyday community. On June 6th, the new moon will conjunct the sun, 16 degrees. The new moon will happen at, and it will conjunct the sun and Venus in Gemini. And Saturn will be here again, like in the mix in the 3rd, squaring from Saturn and Pisces, It could dampen a little bit of the exciting ideas that come to you, but I wouldn't worry about it. It just might show you like where you need structure. And you like structure, and Saturn rules you, and it's in a friendly sign to you. So I really don't see this as a problem for you. Sometimes Saturn can dampen our thoughts about love and money, and since he's currently in a house of the mind, the 3rd house, it's also a house of local travel, your neighborhood, travel by car. So just be mindful driving on this day with that square. But again, I'm not too worried about it. Just something to look out for. Don't text and drive, things like that. But with the new moon conjuncting the sun and Venus, it really could be kicking off a whole new cycle here for you in 6th house areas. On June 11th, Pluto in the 2nd house will square Mars in the 5th in Taurus. So that's the house of self-worth, money, bank balance, squaring up to your 5th house of creativity, love, romance, and children. Days surrounding this date before and after, take care with your money, your family, your children. Watch their safety, just, falls, bumps, bruises, things like that with the square in place. Just keep an eye on them, okay? The days before the 11th and 12th and several days after, the square will start to separate. I would say, as we're heading towards the end of June, if you are getting angry, take a time out. Watch your children. Don't get angry. If you're feeling angry, go spend some time outside. Watch your bank account and your passwords and creative projects. Don't get into an argument with a lover. Both planets are in detriment. They're not at full strength, and Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius. So I would say watch for identity theft as well. This is something that could happen. Aquarius rules, like the internet, and Pluto is anything unseen, hidden enemies, things below the surface. So I just, protect your passwords or change them, or if you regularly update them, this would be a good time to do so. And, don't forget, this aspect will start to separate as the month cruises along. On June 17th and 18th, Venus and Mercury will conjunct again but they'll conjunct. There's another conjunction earlier on the 6th with the new moon, sun, and Venus. Now on the 17th and 18th, we're having Venus again conjuncting Mercury, communication, in your 6th house again. So there's a lot of activity going on in the 6th house of health and work and what you do to take care of yourself and your body and your pets. And Jupiter is here as well. Oh boy. Okay, so what does this mean? So the conjunction will happen for you in your 6th house of health, and then it will start to move into your 7th house of partnership, lighting up the areas to do with your everyday work and health, bringing them to fruition, or possibly even kicking off a whole new beginning. This could look like a new partnership in work and health with Venus here. Could also be a new partner, and with the sun, it could be a male figure. Somebody might come into your life now to show you a way to take care of your health in a way that you love. You could also meet a new love while you're exercising outdoors in your workaday job, or while you're at your workaday job. Like, let's say you went out for coffee on your break and maybe bump into somebody there. Gemini rules the local community, so you could just be, in a flow that you're happy with regarding your pets. Maybe you found a new pet that you just adore, the 6th house rules pets, or a pet's health solution could happen if they've been unwell. You could be completing a work project that will bring you some contracts and financial gain with Venus here as well in the 7th house. The 7th house rules business partnerships and contracts. Neptune will make a square aspect to this conjunction coming from the end of your 3rd house of communication, local neighborhood, writing, speaking, vehicles, etc. Since it does square a health house, I would say just be careful driving or moving around in your local community. All in all, I'm not too worried about it. Just don't text and drive. It could also just be confusion about some of these aforementioned things. For example, you could get good news about your health or money coming in from work you've done, but there could be some confusion or nebulousness around it or information that may be missing. Once again, it's not really bad because Neptune is not a malefic planet and the square is happening with 2 positive planets, the Sun and Venus. Maybe if you have a contract to sign, go over it again, especially after the square separates in a few days to make sure you're seeing everything as it should be. Same for health and money. On June 20th, the Sun enters Cancer and the summer solstice begins shortly after. While a lot of the energy that was in your health house, your health and work house, now will shift to the 7th house of others, partnership, marriage, love, contracts, etc. On June 21st and June 22nd, the full moon will happen in your 1st house, happening at 1 degree, bringing completion around a goal you may have set for your physical body, health, and well-being. Your work and overall life in general, as the 1st house represents everything about you in an entirety. Maybe 6 months ago at the Capricorn new moon, you set these goals or started something new, and now you may be seeing the results at the time of this full moon. You could be trying to balance some things you're wrapping up with the needs of a partner at this time, since the full moon is happening opposite your 1st house. On June 29th, Saturn, who rules you, is now in your 3rd house, starting to retrograde for the next several months until November, going back over issues and possibly seeing some completion around communication projects, neighborhood, neighbors, social media. Maybe you're working on a social media app or a writing project, and you have to go back over it, tweaking and perfecting it before you release it when Saturn goes direct. Maybe you change neighborhoods, and it could have been to a place near water with Neptune here. Since Saturn is in a sign friendly to you, Pisces makes a sextile to your sun, moon, or ascendant. I think the retrograde may be positive for you and can even bring rewards once he moves direct again in November. He's bringing a reality to everything 3rd house in any of those areas above mentioned, or helping you try to make something concrete in this area. The gift is always when you've done the work, something you don't mind, I think, because Capricorns are some of the hardest working signs out of the zodiac. The gift could be something tangible by the end of this retrograde cycle, such as a completed book. Maybe you're fully moved into a new neighborhood. Maybe you've purchased a new car, finished a book. I just said that one. Okay, and this would happen around November. As we move into July, most of the planets other than Jupiter will now be in Cancer in your 7th house, lighting up that space. See you next month, Capricorn.